It's lights out and away we go, and it's a fairly even start. Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, but Verstappen is now coming back, and Leclerc who moves over to cut him off. Carlos Sainz has already been passed.
Hello Formula One fans, welcome to Formula Pun Racer. Today is June 1st, 2022. Today I give you my review on the Spanish Grand Prix, which was held at the Circuit de Catalunya back on May 14th, and the Monaco Grand Prix, which was held back on May 29th. Let's begin with the Spanish Grand Prix. From the beginning, it was Charles Leclerc of Ferrari on pole and Max Verstappen of Red Bull starting second. From the moment the lights went out, it was Charles Leclerc who led through the first corner to take the lead and sail away with it. But that same lap, just a few corners in, Lewis Hamilton of Mercedes and Kevin Magnussen of Denmark driving for Haas had a little tangle, and the Danish butter cookie ended up off worse, sliding into the gravel trap, but was able to press on. Unfortunately for local favorite Carlos Sainz Jr. Ferrari, by lap 7, he ended up spinning out in exactly the same location. And then 2 laps later, so did Max Verstappen. All ended up in the gravel trap, but they were all able to get their cars out and continue on with the race. All right. No doubt a rough and stony excursion for those 3 drivers. First they were rocking, but then they'd be rolling. While it appeared that the Italian stallion driven by Charles Leclerc would be putting on a dominant performance throughout the race, unfortunately by lap 27, his power unit failed and he had to retire. A sad death blow for the prancing horse, indubitably.
Absolutely splendidly for him, and he is out of the race.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for Leclerc's Ferrari. Just when it had a good show going, and it just quit on him. After he pulled in the pits, George Russell of Great Britain driving for Mercedes took the lead, with Sergio Perez of Red Bull right behind. And who would have thought that a few laps later, Perez would take the lead over from him, and Max Verstappen would come back from his gravel trap excursion to get as far as 3rd place. And then when they were about 1 and 2, the Red Bulls, the team pretty much told Sergio to give up the lead to Max, which was in a way ridiculous, because Sergio was on a charge, and they should have made it more interesting to see if Max would have been a little more challenged to get to the front, even if Max had a faster car, because that was ridiculous, in my opinion. So that's how it was, and from there on, Max Verstappen would win the race. Sergio Perez finished a reluctant second, giving Red Bull a 1-2 finish and taking the constructors' lead and increasing Max's drivers' championship lead further away from Leclerc. And that is the Spanish Grand Prix review. And let's see how hot it would be for the Monaco Grand Prix, shall we? While Ferrari qualified 1st and 2nd in Monte Carlo, an unexpected change in the weather would be a deciding factor in the outcome of the race. For it began to rain, and the race would have to begin under a standing start. Unfortunately, the rain got so bad that they'd have to stop the race for an hour, because in hindsight, if they kept at this pace, a red flag would have happened regardless, because there was just no grip out there whatsoever. That, in a way, you could say that boats would have been more appropriate for this race than cars. When the green flag finally flew under a rolling start, the Ferraris of Leclerc and Sainz took off. But if you're a Canadian, it was definitely not a great day for Nicholas Latifi, whose car hit the barrier at Lowe's hairpin, and 2 laps later, Lance Stroll and his Aston Martin also found the tire barrier in a different location. But they were both able to continue on. Nicholas finished 15th a lap down, and Lance was the last driver on the lead lap in 14th. Tough day for the Canadians in F1, eh?
It stinks!
While it was great for us Ferrari fans to see the Italian stallion take a 1-2 start, the track was beginning to dry up, and by lap 17, one by one the cars would pit, but or more like not so slight, but big miscommunication between drivers and pit crews made them lose precious times, and they double stacked each other in the pits, which undoubtedly cost them the race badly, and the Red Bulls of Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen would take over the lead from the 2 Scarlet drivers. So tough luck for us Ferrari fans, huh? Yeah, I know, it sucks that the Ferrari 1-2 came unstuck. On top of that, by lap 26 in the harbor location of the track, Mick Schumacher was in for the scare of his life when his Haas Ferrari lost control. Fortunately, Mick was not hurt at all in that crash. Before I continue with my review of the race in Monaco, there are some things I'd like to point out. Recently, Daniel Ricciardo might be shown the axe at McLaren for not delivering some good points results finish, despite the fact he did give McLaren its first F1 victory since 2012 last year at Monza. But given how Lando Norris, his teammate, has been doing much better, looks like the Australian might have to hop like a kangaroo elsewhere. In addition, there are talks that the Monaco Grand Prix might not come back next year because it's getting, in a way, somewhat expensive. The logistics of going to Monaco and from, as well as the fact that the cars are so big that, compared to recent years, that it makes passing in these narrow confines impossible, and it's not much fun. I mean, like 20 years ago, the cars were much smaller, and there's a lot of reasons that by 2026, Formula One hopes to address to make the cars smaller so they can have more passing possibilities. In addition, there were talks that there could be a venue to replace the canceled Russian Grand Prix in Sochi on behalf of the fact that Russia has recently, as you all know, decided to invade Ukraine. Unfortunately, there were no venues that were able to step up to the plate, so this year, what should have been a record-breaking 23 races in a season will not happen, at least not this year. So what was to be on the Russian Grand Prix is not going to be replaced, so there's a break for the drivers at least.
Thank God.
With the track still drying up, by lap 50, Guan Yu Zhou of China driving for Alfa Romeo had quite the scare himself when his brakes failed coming out of the tunnel. He slid sideways and almost hit Pierre Gasly, but managed to continue on. Now that's a miracle, if I must say.
Whoa.
When all was said and done, it was Sergio Perez of Mexico driving for Red Bull Racing, taking his third F1 career victory. His Dutch teammate Max Verstappen finished third, putting the Ferrari driver Carlos Sainz Jr. of Spain in the middle of a Red Bull sandwich, aka second place. No doubt about it, with Sergio Perez, also known as Checo, finally winning in Monaco and increasing his contract with Red Bull as far as 2024, this gives all his Mexican fans something very exciting to talk about. Ole Checo on your grand performance! With you, of course, getting your contract renewed with Red Bull, it just goes to show that you're both the bull and the matador at the same time. Keep charging forward, Checo, and we'll see how you do in the next round, which is right here. June 12th in Baku, Azerbaijan. The twisting, winding streets, along with a lot of fast sweepers, too. Who knows? Can Red Bull come back and maintain their dominance? Or will Ferrari come back to gain vengeance for the few races that they haven't been winning so far? Or could Aston Martin get some more points finishes, like they did last year with their best finish of second with Sebastian Vettel? Anything can and certainly will happen in every F1 race that's to come. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like my videos and like them very much, please share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video that observes the race in the streets of Baku, Azerbaijan. Congrats once again to Max Verstappen winning in Spain and your teammate Checo winning in Monaco. I'm Aaron Cylinder, firing on all cylinders.